So coming up next, we got some topwater, right? We got topwater walking baits, 110 Supersound topwater walkers. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this is an exciting bait. You know, we've got a 115 and a 105 in a more traditional slender shape already in the series, but this is an easy to walk, super, put this down here close by to the microphone.
Yeah, we can hear
That
it.
is a super loud bait, and it's weighted in such a way so that a lot of the baits are easy to walk, harder to walk. This bait walks really, really easily, and you can make a tremendous splash and not have the bait come too far forward. But this is when they're schooling on top. You're looking for aggressive fish. You want a loud bait that moves a ton of water. It's not a big bait, okay? It's not a giant bait, but it acts like a big bait. And of course, Chris he loves throwing topwater, so I know he likes this big loud bait.
Yeah, anytime you're throwing topwater, you're going to have the opportunity to catch a big fish. So when you're out there throwing topwater, there again, you want baits that are going to be able to withstand the explosion and make many, many, many casts.
Yeah, I mean, we can hear it through the mic there. That is a super loud bait, and Corey's got one here too. It's deafening in this room. What did you guys do to make that bait so loud? Anything different other than just adding more rattles?
Well, it has rattles, but the rattles are spaced in such a way to promote the sound. There's a lot, the chambers inside these topwater baits, there's a lot of ways that you can run them, and depending on the distance between them, and there again, it's trial and error situation. But that is a sound delivering bait. I mean, that's sort of the same premise behind a rattle trap. It's probably as much sound driven for bites as it is movement of the bait on top. But
Awesome.
I would argue it's the loudest topwater bait I've ever thrown, and I've tried to buy all the loud ones because I needed them at times. But that's what it was all about, man. The loudest thing we could find to kind of get that mad reaction bite.
Sure.
And they're vicious blow-ups, man. It's awesome, bait.
Like I said, it's deafening in here when Corey was shaking that, and I was telling him to quit it because we can't hear it through the mic. But hey, we do have a question from the audience here. What Duckett rod would you use to throw that topwater walking bait?
Yeah, a lot of that's preference. I'll let Chris weigh in on that. It depends on your size and how you fish a topwater bait. I like to fish with my rod straight down, and as I've aged in this sport, I've been fishing professionally since 1977, and the old wrists are tired. So I've learned how to cheat, and the easiest way to fish is your rod straight down, because you can use the weight of the rod and catch a rhythm. So depending on how tall you are, somewhere between 6.5 and 7 foot. I like a medium action rod on a topwater. I don't like a real heavy rod, because after I hook them, those heavier rods, when they jump, because they're going to jump when they hit a topwater bait, I want to keep them hooked up. So, and I like braided line. I can throw it a long way. It makes it easy. So you really have to go to a softer rod when you go to that braided line. So I'm 6'6" medium. Micro Magic is my favorite. I'll go as far as a 7 foot medium in the Micro Magic. Those are my two favorite topwater rods, and he throws a ton of it. So
yeah, I'm a 7.3 type guy. I want the longer rod, still that medium to medium heavy action rod when you're throwing it, because like Boyd was saying, when you're making those long casts, you need braid. You have to have braid in order to penetrate the hook when you're casting about all the line on your reel out, because that's how heavy these baits are. A lot of topwater baits, they weigh so much. When you zing them, you go a long way. If you set the hook with any other line, fluorocarbon, number one, it's going to sink, so it doesn't work. Monofilament has way too much stretch in it, so when you set the hook, there's zero penetration. So you really have to throw braided line, and it's a medium to medium heavy rod, and I like a little bit longer rod so I can throw it a little bit farther.
yeah. Hey, talking about throwing it farther, what? I'll throw this tip in, because I learned this the hard way. And if you'll think about this, the longer you can throw a topwater bait away, the better and more accurate your bites will be. And Chris will attest to this. That's why he throws them so far. If anybody that's listening thinks about this, if you get a short strike on a topwater, it is never at the end of the cast. It's halfway to the boat. Halfway to the boat, because they become extremely shy the closer they get to the boat. I don't fish my topwater past that. I fish a half a cast and I burn it the rest of the way in. I fish on an 8-3 reel, because I'm doing that all day. But I want to get that bait as far away as possible, because when they hit it out there, they get it.
Right.
When they hit it close to you, that's where the short strikes happen. So.
Well, thanks. Some great tips there from two seasoned pros on topwater fishing.